What's up, guys? I'm back with my trading recap for February 8th, 2023. I'll quickly go over how I was able to come away with $190 on, pull this up really quick, what would have been pretty much a $1,700 account. If you watched my video from yesterday, what I was really watching for, if we pull up SPX real quick, was what I said is I wanted us to open above 4150, come down, test 4150, and then bounce for continuation up to this 4175, and then ultimately up to the 4200 area. And so I was half right. We opened up above 4150, which if we open up above majors, well, a support level, I'll say not major, but a support level, I went ahead and played some calls to open. So when we came down and touched here, I actually got in a little late, but I got in on this first 5-minute candle, 8:30. Oh, second actually, I lied. 35 through 36, and I got in a couple calls throughout this period. That was just because we opened above that. Excuse me, I was trying to pull up SPX. We opened up above that 4150, came down, touched it, and bounced off. So pretty much this gap here, the 412, 413 area, 412.9 to 413 is more or less where 4150 lines up. So that was my reasoning for the calls, is using that support, the bounce off it to go up. I came away with, on 3 contracts, it was pretty good. We came away with $96. After that, we just kept getting this little chop up. I actually started to enter some puts at 908. And so right in this candle, when we came back up, when we failed this trend line is actually pretty much when I entered. We came back up. It was still within my, it was within the risk reward. In hindsight, I added too heavily to this trade, and going back, I would have added later. Hindsight's 2020, especially when trading. Everyone would be a perfect trader. We never really failed these pre-markets level, and then also these post-market levels. See, like this hole was just kind of a zone. And we never came up and broke that. Let's get back here. And so that was kind of my big reasoning for puts. We had this gap that had been previously filled with 413.67, and then all the way up to 1450, which we just has been an area, like I said, from the pre-market and post-market. That was what I was watching. What I really wanted to see is us to come up all the way up to this 1415 area. That was a little hopeful. We never got there. On the 15-minute candle, you can kind of really see the conviction of my entrance. I mean, we got this massive pin bar up, which could have shook some people out, and then we just traded all the way on down. I ended up adding 5 contracts of this. Like I said, definitely heavier than I would have wanted, and I did average down quite a bit. First ad was 50 all the way down to 120. After that, I just was trimming at areas. I trimmed down here at the 412 again, and then actually I think my main trim was when we came down to this area. Throughout this area, I had a couple trims, and then ultimately I just let a runner go. This green candle is, I believe, what closed me out. Let's see, 1015. No, it was actually this green one then. 938 is what closed me out. I had a stop loss at 1.6. We came up, touched it. We got a few dollars under 1.6 and then just fell down. Ultimately, I think it got around to 250 a contract. I had, if you had watched a couple videos ago, I got burned by not setting a stop loss. This time I set it and let it go. What I might do next time is give it a little more wiggle room since I am playing with profits. Maybe come up to that for the contract, 1.5, but maybe come up to this 413.20. Make sure that we can't reclaim that because, that was almost a triple touch right there. Almost a quadruple touch, give or take. Obviously, that 1320 played a little bit of a role. So in hindsight, I think I would have liked to raise that stop loss a little to bring it down. Willing to risk, another $15 to get that move, which would have been worth it, obviously, this time. Maybe other times it's not, but a $15 move to potentially get, the $100 upside. Obviously, that risk reward is comfortably there. So if I could have, great, would have changed it. Otherwise, like I said, we still came out with $190. We traded a total of 10 contracts, so it's not bad. It could have been a better day, but I didn't get a whole lot of movement. I mean, for this first part, we were trading, again, this chop area. SPY just has been chopping a lot recently. As for tomorrow and what I kind of think, I still think we're bullish. I mean, we have our moving averages coming up. We closed above 410. We had this massive move up, but we closed within it. It still looks like we could have some nice room to the upside. Ultimately, tomorrow, this 410 area is going to be key again. On 2.6 coming up to 2.7, I said that 410 area is going to be key, and it looks like we're right at it again. So whatever kind of happens there, we'll have to wait and see, but that's going to be the key level. ideally, if we open above, come down and touch, and then we can look for a bounce off that. But if we open below, then I don't know. I'll honestly probably look for a bounce off it. I just think we're bullish, and that could give me a bias, but we'll see what happens in the day tomorrow. A lot of what I've been looking at has been based on SPX recently. So honestly, if we came down and touched the 4100 area on SPX for a nice rip up, that would be an ideal trade. Yesterday, like I just said, if we open around this above 4150, I would like to come and see a touch. If we open around that, then I'll play that area and see what happens. If we open below, maybe look for a touch reject or touch and go for calls. But ultimately, if we come down, touch this 4100 area, that's been, I mean, a really strong area for us. So I hope we can come down, touch that, and then get some continuation up. If 4100's in play, I think we could have an interesting day. I hope we don't get a morning chop again, but it is what it is. But that'll be my main watch for tomorrow. 4100 or the 4150 area to either calls or puts off bounces. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, make sure you trade smart, trade safe.